What, in your view, will a Keir Starmer premiership look like?
Well, I don't think he'll be very radical. I mean, I don't think he's a great true believer, a warrior of politics and ideology. I think he will just be a manager, I suppose. It would be a good way of describing his style. I think he'll be very cautious. I don't think a huge amount will change. I don't think they will change government policies very substantially. They will a bit at the margin. But I don't think there will be very substantial changes, at least in the short to medium term. Who knows as the years roll by? But in the short term, they will carry on very much as the country has been going up until now. But, I mean, he's not charismatic. He doesn't inspire people. But he comes across as pleasant and harmless. So that's why people felt safe to vote for him.
Yeah, no, it's been said that he's actually boring, to put it into a word, but boring was enough to win it, and win it by some margin this time. What do you think this means for our relationship, Australia and the UK at the moment, Alexander? I mean, two Labor governments, that's got to be handy.
Yes, they will know each other through Labor networks, and they will get on a bit more easily at the personal level than they might have when they came from different sides of politics. But I mean, I can tell you from long experience in international relations that it doesn't amount to much. But it can be a little bit of a help. Right. I don't think a lot will change. I think AUKUS will continue to evolve. The free trade agreement will remain in place. And that's been a huge success, the free trade agreement between Australia and the UK. So I think the relationship should be absolutely fine as a result of the change of government.
I did want to single out AUKUS because we remember the big announcement. Rishi Sunak was there. So you don't believe Keir Starmer will be a problem for us when it comes to AUKUS and our acquisition of nuclear subs?
No, it's in the UK's interest because the UK needs to build a new generation of nuclear-powered submarines to replace their Astute class, and working with Australia and the US on a new design, and they will be building their submarines at Barrow-in-Furness up in the north of England. That is already planned, and that will continue under this government. It won't make any difference.
You mentioned immigration. Looking at some of the figures there, particularly Reform UK, right? There we can see there 13. That's Nigel Farage's doing by leading Reform UK. He only started the campaign 4 weeks ago, so he started it late. So, I mean, it's pretty good work on his part. What do you put that down to, Alexander? Is it immigration, and is it an extension of what we're seeing across Europe at the moment with concerns about immigration and this drift to the right, particularly in France, particularly in Italy?
It's definitely all part of that. I think it's a growing problem in Europe, this issue of immigration. And it's not, by the way, just illegal immigration, it's legal immigration. The Tories promised back in 2010 that they would reduce the migrant numbers to less than 100,000. The last figures was something like for last year was 700,000, and they never got anywhere near their target. Then there's on top of that illegal immigration, the people coming across to the UK from France in small boats, dangerous journeys that they make. And the Rwanda plan was fine as a plan, but they never implemented it. So by having a plan that you never implement, it makes people cynical. So I think the immigration issue did cut through quite severely for the Conservatives in their core constituency, and that's why a lot of those people, particularly in the eastern part of England, will have turned against the Conservatives and voted for Nigel Farage, who, by the way, is an incredibly well-known figure in the UK. Is seen as the hero of Brexit, so it's not as though he turned up as an unknown person. No,
that's true, and also well-known here in Australia and to our Sky News audience, often a contributor here. Alexander Downer, appreciate your time this morning. Thank you so much.